Here's the scenario from your book. Students were asked to record their dreams each morning for a 10-day period. And so probably they had a lot of data. They could measure what the students were dreaming. But for this example, they were just looking at the number of dreams that they reported. How much do people dream? And this is what the students reported that they could remember in the morning. 7, 8, 8, 7, 3 dreams for this person, 1 for this one, 6, 9, 3, and 8 dreams for the last person. So it's just a mishmash of numbers. And we might wonder, how can we make sense of the numbers? And you already know that we could make a frequency chart. We could figure out how many people had 8, how many had 5, things like that. And you already know that you could create a histogram to really show that frequency data a little bit better. But now we're going to talk about working with the numbers in a little bit different way. So central tendency, this is like the representative or the typical value of the data set. Like, what's a common number? You know, what could we say about the numbers that are typical of the data set? And we're going to look at mean. It's just the average. We're going to look at median, which is the number that's right in the middle of a ranked set of numbers. We'll look at mode, which is the most commonly occurring number. And then next class, we're going to look at what we call deviation. We're going to look at deviant numbers, how far each score is from the mean. And we're going to look at the standard deviation and talk about what this word standard means, because we'll be working with this concept a lot of a standard. And we can think about it really loosely as the average distance of each score from the mean. So once again, I've repeated these definitions. The mean is just the average, just like you've worked with all along. We add up the scores and divide by the number of scores. And then the median is the middle score in a ranked set. And the mode is the most commonly occurring number in a set of scores. So let's begin with mode. Pretty straightforward. And so the mode is just the category or value. Ooh, I'm going to change this word here. If you catch any more of these where I'm using language carelessly, I want you to tell me. I'm changing the word score to value because I don't want to. There we go, much better. I don't want to misuse these terminologies and confuse you. So it is the category or value of a variable that has the highest frequency in the distribution. That's it. I always think of it with shoe stores. So if you go into a shoe store, what's the most common shoe size, right? That would be the mode. For women, I think a lot of times it's about a size 8. That's the mode of distribution of shoe sizes for women, maybe. And so the mode is really easy to identify. You just find out what category has the highest frequency. If you make a histogram, it is the number with the highest number of a simple frequency chart or a simple histogram. You can find the number with the most values. And it's not necessarily the majority. So like when we think of majority, that's more than half of the cases. It's just the category that has the largest number of cases. So here's an example. What number in this tiny little data set shows up the most? Well, it's 9. You can see there are 3 9s listed there, and there's only 1 of every other value. And so we can see that 9 is the mode for that data set. And we can see here, this is displayed in a histogram for a different data set. Whoops. And here's the numbers for that different data set. And we can see that the most commonly occurring number is 4. And so that's the mode. So it's really easy, straightforward concept. So in our little data set, how would we find out what the mode is? Well, we would just look at the data. We could make a frequency chart and figure out what is the most commonly occurring number. And in this nice, tiny, tiny little data set, we can probably just look at it. Everyone on the screen right now, can you guys, the ones in the classroom, I'll ask you in a minute, but can you guys send in to me what you think the mode is for this data set? Send it in the chat. I see a few. Thanks, Celeste. Yeah. That's a pretty straightforward concept. Rafina? Yeah, good. Aaron, how are you doing with this? Safra? Okay. Already I forgot to stop and start the recording. So after this mode content, I'll do that. All right, so the most commonly occurring number of students in the classroom, can one of you guys speak up? What do you think?
It's going to be 8.
Yeah, we have just 8. So really easy to see 3 8s. Oh, it's this kind of a day. Okay, 3 8s is really easy to see. All right, so one cautionary note. Let's look at this chart. The 10 most common foreign languages spoken in the United States. All right, so the values are listed here: Spanish, Chinese, Tagalog, all of these languages. And the frequency or number of speakers are listed here. And an easy thing to do would be to say the mode is 37,488,624. But if you did so, you would be mistaken because we actually always state the value. It's going to be a value and not a frequency. So the mode in this case is Spanish. That's the most commonly occurring language. And so sometimes you already know about a bimodal distribution. Okay, you had to do one for your item 4B. I believe I had a bimodal distribution that you had to do for that. And that's just that there are 2 numbers that occur most frequently. And here we don't know, it's not exactly -2, but we would just say there are 2 modes. All right. And so in that case, you would write the 2 values with the highest frequency. So here's a little one for you. I want you to take a moment to figure out the mode. And I think I have a quick correction I'm going to make so that my pen is functioning as it should today. So while you determine the mode in this and submit it to me, I will make that quick fix to my screen. I'll try to. Okay, I am almost done getting this screen problem fixed. And I'm seeing, I think these are new messages. We actually do have the mode again as 18, and so as 8, I mean, and so that is correct. And let me just see if this little fix I made resolved my pen problem. Not yet. Okay. So the next measure of central tendency is going to be the median. And when we get to things where I have to write, I'm going to take it out of slideshow because that's the only way I can solve this problem, it seems to me. So just see if it's doing it. All right. So let me go into Zoom and stop and start.